Well, hello and welcome to a special episode of On Second Watch. So, you all know Sean Bean. He's the man that seemingly dies in every movie and TV show he's in. So, we decided to take a look at the movies that we've reviewed previously and figure out where would Sean Bean fit. Now, it could be a major role or just a cameo, but really what we're trying to figure out was how would Sean Bean have died? And each one of these episodes, we're going to feature a special guest to not only give us their thoughts on the movie, but also help us figure out what Sean Bean's role is and what is his demise. And for this episode, we're taking a look at The Other Guys, and we're joined by Derek. Hello, Derek.
Hello, Tim. And everybody else on here.
So thanks for I was just about to say, it's like I got two quick questions for you. And one, who is your favorite host from our show? And second is, why is it me?
Oh, okay. So we're gonna go with Tim.
I know.
Dana, outstanding. Also, Carrie, also great. The other two, since they're not here, or the other couple, don't care. Tim keeps things moving very nicely, and just he holds it down. He's the anchor. He's the rock on this show. So. There you go, Tim. Was that good? Was that what you were fishing for?
That's what I sent you in the email, so it's
awesome.
We're good to go.
I'm see, I can read, so there's a start.
That helps. All right. So, I mean, Derek, we talked to you a lot about The Other Guys, and I think you sent us a note and said if there was any movie that you could be a guest on, it would be The Other Guys. So why don't you give us a rundown on what makes this movie so special? And why does it mean so much to you that it stood out to you?
I think it's that nearly every line that they drop in the movie is quotable and amazing. I mean, there's not like a dull moment throughout the movie, and I think I'd mentioned before that there's a quote from the movie that you can apply to all situations. So I mean, even just you asking me to be on here, I mean, I'm a peacock, so you're just giving me a chance to fly. So, it's applicable always. So it's awesome. Outside of that, it's just, it's great casting throughout. There's a ton of good people in the movie, and yeah, it's kind of a blast from beginning to end.
Yeah, I don't know if you had a chance to listen to our episode where we cover our nostalgia for this movie that just came out today. But I actually went back and I counted how many quotes we dropped in that recording.
Over under.
Yeah.
Over under 50.
Oh God.
Wow. Yeah, and so out of that 50 was it over 40 for Dana on it?
So it was actually a total of 58, and Dana was almost 50% of those. She had 23 quotes.
Woo!
So,
that's solid. You were Dana. You were just rolling on it. I listened to it earlier today, and it was awesome. But yes, Dana was on fire with it.
We went back. Yeah, we went back, and when we watched the film, it's like, oh my God, there's so many we missed. So
yes,
part 2 this weekend that we record is going to be another quote dropping extravaganza.
I memorized the entire movie. Come on.
I think between The Other Guys and Eastbound and Down, like those are like the two most quotable things for me, like ever that I could watch. I mean, Anchorman's up there too, but I mean Anchorman's been around for so long, it's old. Now it's The Other Guys.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, I task you by the end of filming part 2, cut and kind of assemble the entire movie from just what we say while recording. I bet you could do it.
I probably could.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Enjoy it.
Right.
That's a lot of work. I mean, I'm already spending half the time just cutting out stuff that Spaz is saying, but
Valid.
that's okay.
That's okay. So I
Hey.
like the fact that you appreciate this movie just as much as we do, Derek. That makes me very happy.
I couldn't believe it because I think it's such an underrated movie, and I had no idea that like I thought when I first watched it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like nobody's seen this movie, like because none of my friends ever talked about it, and I was like, am I the only person that has discovered this gem? Because I you know no nobody talks about how great it is, and then when you guys brought it up that you were doing a pod for it, I was like, seriously, like this is like the best movie they could be doing for it. So
This makes me happy.
see, that's I aim to please. So
There you go. All right. So why don't we jump into this? So Sean Bean, this amazing actor that he dies a lot. So where do we think he would fit? Is there a major character he could replace, or is there some cameo? Where do you think Sean Bean would fit in this movie, and how do you think he would die? So I mean, Derek, why don't we? Do you have a thought on it right now?
I have a lot of thoughts on it. No, so like I remember I had watched before this compilation of Sean Bean deaths, and first off, like it is insane how many times the dude gets stabbed. I mean, I would initially think like if somebody dies a lot in movies, they get shot or something like that. No, he gets stabbed a lot, and I don't know. I've never been stabbed before, and I'm assuming it sucks terribly. So what a way to go. But I think like the only part that makes sense that he could be in the movie would have been the is he Australian? The
Wesley. Oh,
Wesley?
yeah.
what's his
Yes,
yeah, that
Wesley.
guy.
Wesley.
It would make sense if he played that guy that he would get shot in the shootout at some point. Or like when
Yes.
they do the initial arrest, he goes down in a blaze of glory. If it were up to me, that's not the way he would die though. I saw like all these ways he died, and I did not see a death by Prius anywhere. So since it plays such a big part in the movie, I would love to see whether he gets run over or things get aggressive in the soup kitchen with Dirty Mike and the boys. If that happened, that would be great. I think it'd be hilarious if for his cameo, he's one of the boys, and Dirty Mike comes on and he's like, winter is coming, and so is Dirty Mike, and bam, it's
Oh, it's so wrong.
I know. But I that's the way I would think he should. That if I wrote it, that's the way it would go down. But
That's great. So I was talking to Dana's brother about this, and he brought up that he thinks that similar to the Dirty Mike experience. Oh God, the Dirty Mike experience. That sounds like
it sounds like a great band name,
right?
Yes.
But he was saying that scene in the garage where they're listing off all the things they found in the car. It's like, yeah, and then we found the body of Sean Bean in the trunk of the Prius. So there you go. That could very well have been the case.
Absolutely. It would make sense. I think Sean Bean in the trunk would make more sense than a baby mouse in a used condom. So, yeah,
this is very true.
This sounds legit.
I'm looking for that edit now where it's like, yeah, we found Sean Bean in the car. That'd be good.
This will happen again.
Now, I actually think too, because like we had talked about like what a sequel would look like.
Yeah.
For this too.
Oh yeah.
I think Sean Bean would be sweet in the sequel for it. Like he playing himself. You got Terry and Alan are on top of the world, right? Because that's kind of the way the movie ended. They were no longer the other guys. And they come in and they're on top of the world. Terry's walking down an alley, and then all of a sudden, Sean Bean, we don't know it's him, but a dark figure's approaching him. Terry shoots him, just like Peter. And then somebody's like, "Oh my God, you killed Ned Stark. He's an auburn-haired angel." You know, like that's. I think it'd be a solid beginning to their downfall again. So
There you go.
Walking a beat downtown.
that's right. No longer a traffic cop.
I love this. I feel like that would be a legit start to it.
There you go.
Thank you.
I do. I really do. I like it.
I thought playing out, because I was thinking the same thing, is like in this hypothetical sequel, I just imagine him being the bad guy, but him having the same like sex appeal as Alan does for the entire first movie. And it's just like a giant standoff between both of them getting checked out by every woman in the movie. Yeah.
That would be an awesome part to it too.
Nobody will have the sex appeal of Alan in the first one. Mm-mm.
It's true. I still don't understand, but I mean, whatever.
Pimps don't cry.
No,
Mark Wahlberg's sitting there is like, what the hell? What's going on? I don't get it.
Yeah, he doesn't get it because he's short.
There you go. Yeah, it's all the height thing.
Tim and I actually we were in Greektown, and they got a Wahlburgers restaurant there now, and we were just walking downtown, not paying attention to anything, and Mark Wahlberg actually like walked into the restaurant, and I actually stopped and said to Tim, "Am I taller than him?" I did not realize how tiny he was.
That's wild.
Yes.
I guess I didn't realize it until watching the show. I mean, he is a short dude.
He is. He's really, really short. No.
Kind of makes Dirk Diggler even more impressive being that short, but
Well, Carrie, how about you? What do you have Sean Bean's role as?
I 100% agree it would have been Wesley as written, and he would have been an amazing Wesley. But I foresee that scene basically with all of the different like gangs and people that they owe money to playing out differently, and we just get like straight up like an Irish street gang, like in Peaky Blinders, where everybody's just shanking each other. Right? He could have died by getting stabbed. That would be my choice.
Of course
Yes.
he'd get stabbed.
And they could sing a song about pink eye right before it happens.
There you go.
I did realize, though, after rewatching this movie, that Tim and I have not been watching the same version that's on Netflix. So I don't know if that was in the main version or not. Was it?
Maybe think it is.
The song, yeah. So we were going to talk about this weekend, but the version that's on Netflix is not the same that we have on DVD. And some of my favorite moments were not in the streaming version, and I was sad. It made me sad.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
What is this version you have?
It's like the director's cut. It's like a extended edition. It adds just a few minutes, but some of those scenes some of the scenes are longer. There's a lot of funny moments that are just totally cut out, and I was just like, oh, that sucks.
It's worth a watch.
So we'll have to watch it again.
I feel like I've been robbed. I have not seen this.
Really? No, you really have, because some of the scenes were like, these are gold. How are they not in this movie? It's disappointing.
Denounce Netflix for this travesty. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Right?
Not even cool. Not cool,
No.
Netflix. So Dana, how about you? Where do you see his role and demise?
So I didn't do my research like everybody else, clearly, and I don't see movies, so this is a lot harder for me. But I don't know if the scene is in the version that's on Netflix or not, because I think I might have looked away for a second, but when they go on the ride along and they bring the little girl from the classroom, yeah, I feel like he'd be the person in the back. Just
sliding back and forth.
And then he'd probably have some horrible death there. I don't know. So
is this Sean Bean as the little girl? Like he's pretending to be a 4-year-old girl, and then okay.
Well, I don't know about that, but I I'm pretty sure that girl was more than 4, but
6, whatever. Couple.
But I just see him being the character in the back. I don't know why. That's just what I see.
That could work. All right.
So you turned him into a young girl. That's even that is even wilder than something going down with Dirty Mike.
Let's just. Yeah, it's really weird. I don't know why, but that's just what stood out to me. And I liked Tim's idea, which I know he's going to share in a minute. So I didn't want to steal that either.
Well, I have 2. And I kind of forget the first one. But anyway, the main one that I was thinking of was at the very beginning when The Rock and Sam Jackson saved the day and caused, I don't know, millions of dollars in damage just for a couple pounds of marijuana, I think it was, or 1 pound of marijuana. And, they're accepting their speech or whatever. And the hot dog vendor, gives them free hot dogs for life, but no pops. I can't do it. Sean Bean as the hot dog cart vendor, giving away those free hot dogs for life. And then when they make that suicide jump for the bushes on top of the building, as they're falling, The Rock lands on top of Sean Bean, crushing him and killing him, giving The Rock bottom. And that's how he dies.
That gets the slow clap right there. That's beautiful. That's poetry right there unfolding.
That's good.
So that's what I was thinking. Oh, and then my second one was when
instead of aim for the bushes, aim for Sean Bean.
Yes, aim for the hot dog cart. It just takes him out. And then the other one was during the scene when they're racing to the cocaine murder scene. Sean Bean is the dead body on the floor that gets run over by the Prius. So kind of playing off the whole death by Prius thing. But he's the body that gets run over when the car gets covered in cocaine. That was the second one. But I keep thinking about that scene as him, the hot dog vendor. I see it. And that's what I want.
No, I won't unsee it.
Yeah.
I feel like the sequel could just have him in this movie in all of our different ways, and it could be a pretty epic kind of thing.
It could play out.
It really would.
I mean, seriously. And people would be like, hey, he's in this movie. Let's watch this. Just saying.
And he's giving away drinks for life.
Well,
along
hot dogs.
with the hot dogs. No, this time, that guy didn't do it, but Sean Bean, yes. He gives the drinks too. Yes.
He's the man.
That's right.
Is it. This is
but
it.
He still dies. He's the man, but he dies.
So I was trying to think of what ways hasn't he died, and I was researching just like you about how many different ways has he died, and yeah, stabbing is number one, I think. One of them I saw was he got trampled by cows. So now
that was my favorite.
Right?
That was the best. I mean, I think I remember there was like a couple times he had these like big falls where he died, and the one where the cattle stampede took him out and pushed him off a cliff. That was easily the best. Like the most creative death out of all of them. So, yeah.
So I think the goal for these recordings now is we have to one up the cow trampled over a cliff death. That's we have to do that at a minimum. So
I don't know how y'all are going to do that for Clueless, but I have total faith that somebody will figure it out.
I've already gone down the list. I'm like, all right, I got 3, for each one of these. Clueless, I got a couple. We're okay.
I forgot about the cow stampede one. My favorite one is, I can't remember which movie. I want to say it was like Patriot Games. I think it was when he gets impaled by the anchor and that's how he dies.
Yep,
that one is definitely like my favorite. How ridiculous of a scenario to get like impaled onto an anchor and then blow up. Like
with Harrison Ford, anything's possible.
Yep, it's true. It's true.
I feel
impaled by an anchor counts as a stabbing. Also, I mean,
I guess it does.
That's fair. I feel like I need to watch a compilation of the ways he dies, being I I'm out of the loop of movies.
The YouTube link will be sent to you momentarily.
I am sure it will. I'm waiting.
Well, so I mean, there we are. We got. Not only do we need Another Guys 2 with Sean Bean playing, I don't know, he could get shot. He could be a cameo. Could just be a main villain. I think he'd be great as a Wesley, the brother of Wesley seeking revenge or something.
Ooh, yeah.
Or he's the hot dog vendor or whatever happens, you know. So I think we got some good suggestions here for Sean Bean. So
yes, I think so.
The best is yet to come, Sean Bean.
Yeah, that's right. We're looking out for your well-being.
Didn't he swear off like appearing in movies and dying? Like, didn't he say, "I'm not doing that anymore"?
I've heard and I read an article that said that he's done doing that. He's more than just a character that can be killed. But you know what? I mean, you got to embrace it, man. I mean, he doesn't even hold the record. He's not even in the top 10 of actors that died the most in their films. So he's got a way to go before it becomes a problem. But I think as far as budget or box office success for films, I think the movies that he dies in definitely hold the title. Lord of the Rings and GoldenEye and keep going. But I mean, even in video games, he dies. He did The Hitman, he did Final Fantasy, he's dead. TV shows, obviously, Game of Thrones, he's dead. I think he needs to embrace it. He could just charge people. It's like, yeah, just kill me off. This is my kill me off budget. This is what you need to do. So just go for the record, man. And we're going to help him get there.
Make that money to die.
I think him as a hot dog vendor in the next one, I think that would be a great opportunity for him to break his own rule on it.
I agree.
If I could build a career on dying on screen, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Kill me.
Yeah. I mean, I can fake a death pretty well. I think. I don't know.
I think one of them that was my favorite was in The Island, where he gets an arrow through the neck. That's like a grappling hook through the neck, and then he hangs to death, and that's pretty brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've seen that movie a lot, and I don't remember that for some reason.
It's too bad.
It's probably been a while. Oh wait, never mind. I do. He's no, I remember it now. Never mind. Okay, I'm done. See you.
Obi-Wan Kenobi shoots a grappling hook.
Yeah, I know. I had to put it through, and I'm like, okay, got it.
All right, so for episode 1, we need a sequel to The Other Guys. Sean Bean needs to be in it, and his death will be immaculate. I think we've come to that.
Yes.
Agreed.
Totally
Y'all came up with some pretty solid ways. I like it.
I think so. Well, Derek, thanks for your insight into The Other Guys and sharing your passion with us, and thanks for acknowledging that I'm the best part of the podcast and sharing your thoughts about Sean Bean and how he would end up dying.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
Appreciate it very much. Thanks a lot.